Hello everybody, welcome to the Empressive channel. I want to talk about the rapper and singer Doja Cat. Doja Cat has been having a great year in music so far. Her hit song Say So has now reached the top 5 in the Billboard Hot 100 charts, making it her first song to do so. And Doja Cat has been officially stamped as one of the newest big pop stars on the scene right now. So her career is going pretty well. But with her new level of success, she has been facing some drama. In fact, recently, she got dragged on Twitter by Nicki Minaj fans for calling a few people on Twitter who happen to be Barbs scum. Now, there was a Nicki fan who created a fan art of Doja, Nicki, and Megan Thee Stallion on the cover of Rolling Stone. Doja Cat actually tweeted this and said fire, and fans started commenting under the post. One Twitter user said, "I would like Doja Cat in the middle." And some Nicki fans responded to him and said, "Why is that?" And he said, "'Cause she's my fave out of the three." Now, when he said this, a few Nicki fans started to comment under his post, and they kept going back and forth under the picture, and it caught Doja Cat's attention. So she tweeted the guy and said this: "They're stupid, just block them. They're literally scum. They mean nothing. Don't explain yourself. Stop responding to them. They're Twitter gangsters, and they have nothing kind to say about you or anyone. They live and breathe being immature." Now, when Nicki fans saw this, they assumed that Doja was dissing the Barbs, and they started to drag her on Twitter. In fact, some of the Barbs created a trend on Twitter called the Doja Cat is Over Party, and I don't understand why fan bases go out of their way to do this. It's not really just Nicki fans, it's really a lot of different fan bases. Some of these stans take it to a whole nother level, and they do the most. And unfortunately, Doja became the target of one of those fan bases, which are the Barbs. Now, I do feel like some of the Barbs, not all of them, but some of them probably don't like Doja Cat anyway because she reminds them too much of Nicki Minaj, and they feel like she's trying to ride Nicki's coattails, and I don't necessarily agree with that. Even though I do see similarities between Nicki and Doja, I still look at them as two totally different artists. If there's a way I could explain their differences, I would say that Doja is really a pop star at heart who happens to rap, and Nicki is really a hip-hop star at heart who happens to do pop music. So if we really look at the core of who they are as artists, they both are different. And I do think Doja's direction is organic. She's definitely not trying to go out of her way to be like somebody she's not. What we see from her is who she is. So that's how I feel about the comparisons between her and Nicki. But I do think some Barbs kind of feel a way about Doja because they feel like she's biting Nicki's style. So that might be the underlying reason why they're dragging her. But if you really know Doja Cat, you know that she loves Nicki Minaj. Nicki is one of her biggest inspirations. And also, Nicki happens to like Doja as well. She even played her song Juicy on her Queen Radio show.
Yes, I saw Nicki Minaj mention me on Queen Radio. What the fuck? That's I don't even know if the word is amazing. I don't think that the word is amazing. I think the word is something else. I think there's a new word for how I feel about it. You already know. Some of y'all don't understand yet, but I know that she's an inspiration since day one, and I'm not gonna sit here and act like the truth is not the fucking truth, because that's the fucking truth.
Even though Doja Cat has expressed her admiration for Nicki, she still has been getting dragged by some of the Barbs. They didn't like the scum comment she made, and she even had to address it during her interview with Zane Lowe from Beats One.
You and I have something in common. Both of us are massive fans of the Queen, of Queen Radio's own. Why are her fans so mad? Why is there beef going on? What got lost in translation here?
There was somebody on, so there's someone who's verified on Twitter, and they're not even like a stan account or anything. They're just some random guy who was just like, he saw this art that someone drew of me, Nicki, and Meg in that order. So Nicki was in the middle, and it was a Rolling Stone cover, but Nicki was in the middle, rightfully so. Meg was on the right, and I was on the left, and this guy commented, I'd like to see Doja in the middle. And then someone commented back to him, gosh, men these days, they're so messy. They just want problems all the time. And that's what I saw that comment, and I was like, God, like, you have to bring like someone's gender into stuff. And that's what makes you look stupid. So then after a while, this guy kept on replying to this person, saying the same thing over and over again, reiterating, saying, I just want to see her in the middle. And this person was like bullying him at this point and just saying just mean, horrible things. So then I come in and I say, dude, stop responding to these people. They're scum. They're so awful. Like, stop talking to them. They have nothing good to say to you or anybody else.
The people who are hyper focusing on the one thing, not as in the fan group.
No, not the fan group. The people who were talking to that guy, who were being nasty to that guy. Like 5 people. So anyway, I'm standing up for this guy, and then I'm just like getting upset with everybody. So then people start spinning it, of course, because that's the internet. They start spinning it that I'm talking about every single person who likes Nicki Minaj, when they don't even know I'm the biggest Nicki Minaj fan. So they're stupid. Well, they don't even know me. So they're saying, things they have no idea what they're talking about. But that's basically how that panned out.
Now, after listening to this, I will say that I think Doja Cat shouldn't put so much energy into what other fan bases say. I think most of us know that the stan culture in general is just toxic. So there's really nothing anybody can do about it, but just avoid it. Anyway, I do want to bring up something else that I found interesting about Doja Cat. There's this video I found of Doja Cat meeting Whoopi Goldberg backstage, and she talked about her father. For those of you who don't know, Doja's father is actually the popular South African actor Dumisani Dlamini. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but he's mostly known for his role as Chester in the drama series Yizzo Yizzo, and also his role as Crocodile in Serafina. So Doja talked about her father with Whoopi Goldberg because Whoopi also starred in the movie Serafina, so she actually knew who her father was.
Okay.
How you doing?
Great. I'm just thinking about my dad because he was in Serafina, and yeah, so seeing you and meeting you is like the craziest
What's
thing.
your dad's name? What's your
Dumisani.
Get out of here.
Yeah, he's Crocodile. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? And I didn't get to meet him, but you did. Man. Damn it. But that's so
A good man.
So cool.
Really a good man. Yeah.
He's so well, it's great to meet you.
I'm sorry, I'm staring at you. I'm like,
You're trying to see it? I have on 3 layers of face right now.
Give you another hug.
That interaction right there was very awkward when Doja said she never met her father, and I thought Whoopi Goldberg's reaction was a little weird. She said her father was a good man, but Doja's looking like, yeah, but he wasn't in my life, so what are you saying? That whole situation was kind of awkward, and I do feel bad for Doja. It's clear that she wants to meet her father, but for some reason she never got to meet him.
My dad's proud of me. He's excited. He's all over my Instagram. But what's funny is I never met him. So he's all in the comments like, my African princess. And I'm like, what?
So just for people who don't know, your dad is actually pretty popular in South Africa. Mm-hmm. So tell me about the fact you've never met him. Mm-hmm. He's a star where he's from. Mm-hmm. You're a star where you're from. Yeah. Y'all have never met. Like, tell me about y'all's relationship because I've never really got the gist of it.
I've never met him, and he's on Instagram, and he comments on my pictures sometimes. Maybe not anymore, but he did a few times, like months ago. Mm-hmm. And he's an incredible dancer and a great actor. But yeah, no, I don't know him very well.
Have y'all tried to connect?
I guess when I was like 13, I like wanted to see him, and then I don't know what happened. But yeah.
Would you be open to it now though?
Yeah, sure. Why not? He's, probably still busy doing stuff, but yeah, sure. I'd be down to meet him.
It's kind of sad hearing Doja talk about her father, and I don't really know why exactly they never met face to face, but I do think it might have something to do with his career. After he wrapped up the tour with Serafina, he actually lived in America for 15 years, and he met and fell in love with Doja Cat's mother, Deborah Elizabeth Sawyer, who is a Jewish American woman who's a fashion designer and a painter, and they settled down and had 2 children together. But Dumisani did end up leaving his family in America. According to his interview with Times Live, he said he left America because he was feeling homesick, and he had intentions on bringing his family with him, but it never worked out. Another thing to note is he also left to pursue his acting career in South Africa. When he returned to South Africa, he landed a role on the hit show Yizzo Yizzo, and he's currently acting in another series called Isabaya. So it's possible that he left maybe for the sake of his own career, but his absence definitely affected his family, and it put a strain on his relationship with his children. Doja Cat has spoken out about her father's absence several times, and she did say in her interview with The Fader, "I don't hold grudges against him or anything in any way, but obviously it's a little weird," she says. She has siblings, but they're scattered across various cities. Doja says she feels blessed despite not having a typical nuclear family. It's always great to have both of your parents in your life and all your brothers and sisters, and everybody loves each other, she says. But stuff isn't like that sometimes. Doja Cat still hasn't seen her father to this day. Her father has been in South Africa filming and producing and acting, so he hasn't really had time to be in his daughter's life. And I do think it's sad. Dumisani has been called out on Twitter for being an absentee father, and he did respond to the backlash he got during his radio interview on Power 98.7.
Quickly, your daughter, Doja Cat.
And there was a long debate on Twitter, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, my Americans now, they're calling our names. Why? Hey, all of a sudden somebody came in and said, look, ingane ka Dumisani Dlamini. And then, you know what, my man? We need to know who we are, and we need to put a stamp wherever we walk. Mm-hmm. South Africa, they claiming her.
Yeah.
To be a South African. And I'm very happy, my man.
Did you speak to her during that period?
Well, of course, we talk through Ilokuzana, WhatsApp. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we communicate, and she's fine, and she's proudly, and she'll be looking to come home soon, just to do a show and then come to motherland. I've been looking for one artist, biggest artist around who can collaborate with her when she comes here, but now people, I can't just approach, they need to approach me.
Okay, right.
So in this interview, he claimed that he speaks to Doja, and he made it seem like they're on good terms, and he also wanted to be the guy to link her up with other South African artists. But it became clear to a lot of Doja fans that Dumisani seems to have more of an interest in Doja now that she's famous. So a lot of people have been giving him the side eye, and they've been having a lot of questions about his relationship with his daughter. Recently, he did a radio interview on Metro FM Morning Flavor in South Africa, and he gave a different response than he did in the past. He now says the reason why he hasn't been able to reach Doja is because her team has been blocking him from contacting her. He thinks that now, since Doja Cat is blowing up in America, her team would not want her to associate with South Africa. And that makes no sense at all, but that's what he said. Listen to this interview.
We have also picked up something very interesting here on social media. Words by a certain Doja Cat, whose real name is Amalaratna Zandile Dlamini, who has been doing a number of interviews saying that you are her father. Is this true?
That's my baby girl. That's my baby girl. And I love her and she loves me. Yes, that's my baby.
So why does she keep saying that you guys have never met? I mean, is that true?
My brother, if I could, of course, because now it has become a stain all over social media. Of course, because she's a superstar. Don't forget, also I'm a superstar. What I can say, my brother, I've been looking for my daughter as well. And you mustn't forget, these Americans. Americans will always want to have something that causes stir, so that she stays there in the media, and then it becomes a talk all over the world. I've tried to search for my baby, and then the company that runs her all things in terms of entertainment, they've been blocking me because they know that if I could get hold of her, maybe she'll disappear in the picture. Which, these Americans, my man, they always want to create a story to make things happen. And I know my daughter, wherever she is, she's looking for me. And I've sent messages, and we look in the social media trying to connect, and they deny it. They don't want me to connect with her. This is a South African growing up in America. Of course, she was born in America. What do you expect? Americans, they will never want to lose her.
Well, Dumisani, what was it before Doja Cat became Doja Cat that you've got a daughter? And I'm sure there was a connection with the mother. So she's only been in the public eye over the last 3 years or so. So what about before then? Did you ever try to reach out to her before she became a superstar? And why is it up to the company and not up to the relationship you would have had and the connection you would have had to her mom?
Yeah, well, my daughter was looking for me long time ago, and then we connected. We spoke. She got hold of me. We spoke. We connected. But now, I think this time, because she's there, she's on top. So this becomes a topic, because she has to grab the whole world, especially in South Africa as well, because she's a South African, and her dad is here. I think it's a made-up thing.
All right.
But I'm looking forward to connect with her, because as a Zulu girl, she needs to come home and meet with her ancestors and everything. That's the most important thing.
Do you think that you are closer to meeting, despite the companies there blocking you and etc.? I'm sure there's other avenues. What would you like to see happen next?
No, soon something is happening. Already everything is done. I'm working with my family, and also on her side. It's just that there are things that I can't disclose in the media. And I know when she comes home, it will be one of the biggest things, because she's a South African, and then she's raising a flag of South Africans, regardless of what the company is saying. To be coming home with arts and culture, will talk, because she has to come home.
Oh, so when you say arts and culture, you mean the government? So is the government helping you?
Yeah, we're working on that also, because she's a superstar. Remember, this girl, she's got a private jet, and you can't just bring her here. But as a family, we're working on that. So when she comes home, she also do some shows or something.
So that was Dumisani's response to why he has not seen his daughter Doja Cat. And honestly, I feel like he is making a lot of excuses here, because he had more than enough time to get a chance to actually meet Doja face to face before she got famous. And if he wants to reach her now, he would be better off contacting her on social media. He used to comment on her pictures all the time. So if he was serious about meeting her, he could have DM'd her and got her contact number and set up a date to actually fly in and meet her. But he didn't do that. Doja also said that when she was 13 years old, she wanted to meet him, and her father even said that she tried to reach out to him, but he never took the time to actually meet her. He probably talked to her a few times, and that was it. So he had several opportunities to get in touch with her, and I do think he's using excuses now so he won't look so bad in the press. But I do hope that they eventually get a chance to meet each other. Doja said that she's still open to meeting him, and I'm sure once the opportunity presents itself, she might get to meet him in the future. But I hope her father does not let that opportunity slip away. And also, I hope he takes the time to actually get to know her and make up for lost time, and not just show her off because she's famous. Anyway, tell me what you all think about this video down below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.